We start by seeing the heroic rescue of two young boys from the hands of armed robbers by two superheroes. Homelander and Queen Maeve save the day. Everyone is happy. Scene 1. A tragic accident. The episode opens with a tender, romantic scene between Hughie Campbell, a seemingly ordinary young man, and his girlfriend, Robin Ward. They're sharing a quiet dinner at a local diner, their love palpable. The scene is filled with soft lighting and a warm, nostalgic tone, setting the stage for the tragic event that will soon unfold. As they leave the diner hand in hand, they witness a blur of blue streaking past. This is A-Train, a member of the Seven, a renowned superhero team. A-Train is known for his superhuman speed, which he uses to traverse the city with ease. However, his reckless disregard for human life is about to be exposed. In a heart-wrenching twist, A-Train, while rushing to an urgent call, accidentally collides with Robin, killing her instantly. The camera lingers on Hughie's horrified expression as he watches his girlfriend's lifeless body. The once peaceful and loving scene is shattered, replaced by a stark reality of superhero negligence and the devastating consequences of their actions. This scene serves as a powerful introduction to the show's dark and cynical tone. It establishes the stark contrast between the idealized image of superheroes and the harsh reality of their impact on ordinary people. Hughie's grief and anger at the senseless loss of his loved one will drive him to seek justice, ultimately leading him to join the boys and expose the corruption within the superhero world. Scene 2. The recruitment. Hughie, still reeling from the tragic loss of his girlfriend, Robin, wanders aimlessly, consumed by grief and anger. His life has been irrevocably shattered by the careless act of a supposedly heroic figure. In a dimly lit, grimy bar, he encounters Billy Butcher, a man with a hardened exterior and a deep-seated hatred for superheroes. Billy, sensing Hughie's vulnerability and despair, approaches him and begins to unravel the dark truth about the superhero world. He reveals that these seemingly noble figures are, in fact, corrupt and self-serving individuals, often using their powers for personal gain rather than the betterment of society. Billy's words ignite a spark of rage within Hughie, awakening a desire for justice and revenge. Recognizing Hughie's potential, Billy recruits him to join the Boys, a vigilante group dedicated to exposing the true nature of superheroes. Initially hesitant, Hughie is eventually drawn into Billy's world, driven by a mix of anger, grief, and a newfound sense of purpose. The scene concludes with Hughie reluctantly agreeing to join the Boys, embarking on a dangerous path that will forever change his life. Scene 3. Starlight's arrival. Annie, wide-eyed and hopeful, arrives at Vought International headquarters, the gleaming home of the Seven. She's met by Ashley Barrett, Vought's polished and manipulative PR representative. Ashley escorts Annie through the lavish facilities, showcasing the glamorous lifestyle of a superhero. Annie is introduced to the other members of the Seven, Homelander, the seemingly perfect and all-powerful leader, Queen Maeve, a battle-hardened warrior with a jaded demeanor, A-Train, a cocky and arrogant speedster, the Deep, a water-based hero with a questionable past, and Black Noir, a mysterious and imposing figure. Despite their outward appearances, Annie senses an underlying tension and darkness among the team. She's particularly unnerved by Homelander's intense gaze and controlling behavior. However, her excitement to be a part of this elite group overshadows her doubts. As Annie settles into her new life as a superhero, she begins to realize that the reality of being a Seven is far from the idealistic image she had envisioned. The constant surveillance, the manufactured public appearances, and the pressure to maintain a flawless image weigh heavily on her. She longs for genuine connection and purpose, but feels increasingly isolated and manipulated. Scene 4. The Deep's assault. After a long, glamorous day of photo shoots and public appearances, Annie, now known by her superhero alias Starlight, is exhausted but excited about her new life as a Seven. The Deep, a fellow member of the team, offers to take her out for dinner. As they arrive, the Deep's demeanor shifts from charming to predatory. He begins making increasingly suggestive comments, ignoring Annie's discomfort. The situation escalates quickly as the Deep advances on her, his true intentions becoming clear. Annie, shocked and terrified, tries to resist, but the Deep is physically stronger and more experienced. He overpowers her, forcing himself on her. The assault leaves Annie traumatized and disillusioned. She realizes that the world of superheroes is not as idealistic as she had hoped. The Seven, the heroes she idolized, are capable of heinous acts, and the line between good and evil is blurred. Scene 5. The confrontation with Translucent. The boys' plan is discovered, leading to a confrontation with Translucent, a member of the Seven with the ability to turn invisible. Analysis. The first episode of The Boys sets the stage for a dark and subversive take on the superhero genre. It introduces us to a world where superheroes are not the noble figures we're accustomed to, but rather flawed and morally ambiguous characters. The episode explores themes of power, corruption, and the blurred lines between good and evil. It also delves into the psychological impact of superhero worship and the disillusionment that can arise when the facade is shattered. The characters in The Boys are complex and multidimensional. Huey, the ordinary man thrust into an extraordinary world, represents the audience's perspective, allowing us to question the nature of heroism and the consequences of unchecked power. Billy Butcher, the cynical and ruthless leader of The Boys, embodies the anti-hero archetype, challenging traditional notions of justice and morality. The Seven, on the other hand, are portrayed as both powerful and flawed, highlighting the dangers of unchecked power and the corruption that can arise within institutions. The episode's tone is both darkly humorous and deeply disturbing, blending satire with social commentary. It effectively subverts superhero tropes, exposing the hypocrisy and self-serving nature of these iconic figures. The Boys Season 1 Episode 1 is a bold and provocative introduction to a world where superheroes are not always heroes, and the lines between good and evil are blurred. For more videos like this, like and subscribe.